jet saga. Lenders to Jet Airways have selected Etihad Airways, National Investment and Infra Fund as the NIIF, TPG Capital and Indigo Partners as qualified bidders for Jet Airways, even as the distressed carrier teetered on the edge of a total shutdown of operations. In a day of dramatic developments, a key lender recalled loans and banks struggled to make headway in sanctioning emergency funds, even as the consortium put together by founder Naresh Goyal withdrew from bidding for the company after other suitors threatened to walk out. Meanwhile, unpaid pilots reiterated their threat to take the airline to court. The airline's board on Tuesday morning discussed the management's proposal for grounding of operations. The CEO, Vinay Dubey, was asked to reach out to banks once more, but lenders stuck to their demand for higher collateral before giving more loans. We're joined by Ishita Guha now for latest update. Ishita, what's the latest update on Jet Airways?
Well, as we know that the lenders had a meeting yesterday wherein they were shortlisting the candidates who had submitted their expression of interest, and now we know that 4 companies who had submitted their expression of interest for Jet Airways have been shortlisted by the lenders. In fact, there was supposed to be an official statement that was supposed to be released by SBI Cap, which is the consulting firm for the lender consortium, but there was no official statement. But as per sources, we know that 4 companies, Etihad Airways and IIF, TPG Capital, have been shortlisted by the lender consortium, and they are the qualified bidders who have to submit their binding bid by April 30. Yes, the cutoff for submitting their binding bid is April 30. Remember, it took almost 3 days for lenders to assess and evaluate the expression of interest that was submitted. The former chairman and founder of Jet Airways had also submitted his bid, Naresh Goyal, with the backing of a strategic investor, but Etihad and TPG Capital had threatened to walk out if Naresh Goyal existed and continued to be a part of the expression of interest procedure. And therefore, he withdrew his bid last moment yesterday. But now 4 candidates have been shortlisted who have to submit their binding bids by April 30th for Jet Airways. So all eyes on April 30th now.
Following meetings with the lenders, the Jet Airways CEO wrote to their employees, and this is what he said, and I quote, "Subsequent to the meeting of Jet Airways Board of Directors held earlier today, the company's leadership continued its engagement with Indian lenders led by SBI. The company, under guidance of the board, has reached out to our lead lender, State Bank of India, yet again and stressed on the need for urgent funding requirements critical to the continuation of the operations of the airline." That's Vinay Dubey, the CEO of Jet Airways, to his employees. Meanwhile, the man who launched Kingfisher Airlines, Vijay Mallya, wrote this morning, and he's saying, and I quote, "Even though Jet was a major competitor to Kingfisher at the time, I feel sorry to see such a large private airline on the brink of failure when government used 35,000 crore rupees of public funds to bail out Air India. Just being a PSU is no excuse for discrimination."